Hello students, I hope you are all fine. In this audio presentation, I will discuss the chapter once again, Albert Einstein at School. It will be a revision for you all. So please pay attention and let's get started. Albert Einstein at School, written by Patrick Pringle. Actually, Patrick Pringle is a well-known biographer of Albert Einstein, and this particular extract that we are about to study, it has been taken from a book, The Young Einstein, and it actually describes Einstein's expulsion from a German school. It is written in the intro part, as you can all see. Now, at the very beginning of this particular chapter, we find a sort of conversation is going on between the history teacher, Mr. Brown, and Albert Einstein. So let's get started. The very first line: in what year, Einstein asked the history teacher, did the Prussians defeat the French at Waterloo? I don't know, sir. Why don't you know? You have been told it often enough. I must have forgotten. That means whatever questions been asked by the history teacher, Mr. Brown, Albert Einstein is replying very casually. Did you ever try to learn? Asked Mr. Brown. No, sir. Albert replied with his usual unthinking honesty. No, I am not interested in learning it. Why not? I can't see any point in learning dates. Very, very important line. I can't see any point in learning dates. One can always look them up in a book. Yes, if anyone wants to check the historical dates, then obviously one can always check it by opening a book. Now this is an answer that actually made Mr. Brown speechless, because Mr. Brown never ever expected that Albert Einstein will give an answer like this. So let's see now what happens. Mr. Brown was speechless for a few moments. You amaze me, Einstein, he said at last. Now after some time, then he told Albert Einstein, you amaze me. Don't you realize that one can always look most things up in books? That applies to all the facts you learn at school. Now after remaining speechless for some time, then Mr. Brown told that definitely it is true that we can find the informations all in books, but side by side we also have to learn it, we also have to memorize it. Albert Einstein, again very casual in his reply, he is saying, yes sir. Then I suppose you don't see any point in learning facts, so you are not interested then in learning facts? Frankly sir, I don't, said Albert. Frankly sir, I am not interested in learning facts. Then you don't believe in education at all. Mr. Brown became very critical now, because the way Albert Einstein is answering to him, it is very arrogant. This shows his arrogance. So Mr. Brown got depressed, and he asked Albert Einstein that I don't think you believe in education, isn't it? Oh yes sir, I do. That means I do believe in education. I don't think learning facts is education. Yes sir, I do believe in education. But the main important thing is that I don't think learning facts is education, because according to Albert Einstein, education should be a combination of both facts and ideas. Learning facts is not education, it is incomplete education. So facts and ideas ultimately makes education complete. That was his viewpoint. It was a very progressive and a radical viewpoint, but unfortunately at that time he never got the support of his faculty members, or rather to say, he never got the support of his teachers, except few. So dear students, I am moving on to page number 26 now. I hope you understood that part of the conversation. Now let's see, because that conversation is still continuing in page number 26 also. In that case, said the history teacher with heavy sarcasm, in a very mockingly, sarcastic manner, in a very mocking manner. Perhaps you will be so kind as to tell the class the Einstein theory of education. Okay, that means you do believe in education. Could you please explain to the entire class your theory of education? Albert was a bit shy, but he told, I think it's not facts that matter but ideas. He said, I don't see the point in learning the dates of battles or even which of the armies killed more men. I would be more interested in learning why those soldiers were trying to kill each other. Now, Albert Einstein told the entire class that not only facts but ideas are more important, and he also told that that there is no point in learning the dates of battles or which of the armies killed more men. What is more interesting to him is why those soldiers were trying to kill each other. So it's a very progressive viewpoint, but unfortunately, Mr. Brown, he was not interested in all these things. So he punished Albert Einstein, as can be seen in the next line. Because it is progressive viewpoint of Albert Einstein, but according to Mr. Brown, it shows Albert Einstein's audacity also. So that was the reason Mr. Brown punished him. It is written in the next line, dear students. That's enough. Mr. Brown's eyes were cold and cruel. We don't want a lecture from you, Einstein. You will stay in for an extra period today. Although I don't imagine it will do you much good. It won't do the school any good either. You are a disgrace. I don't know why you continue to come. Now, all these are related with scolding Albert Einstein, and Mr. Brown went on scolding him too much. Mr. Brown told him that he is a disgrace, and he should be out of the class for one extra period today. That means this punishment will let him stay back in school after the normal school hours are over. Not only that, he even told Einstein that he can't imagine that why Albert Einstein still continue to come to school, because ultimately he is a disgrace. It's not my wish, sir, Albert pointed out. Albert was still showing his audacity in front of him, it seems so, that he told, it's not my wish, sir. Then you are an ungrateful boy and ought to be ashamed of yourself. I suggest you ask your father to take you away. You are an ungrateful boy and you should be ashamed of yourself. And Mr. Brown also told him that your father should actually take you out from the school, because I don't think that you can learn anything. Education is not your cup of tea. Now, Mr. Brown was severely critical towards Albert Einstein. So, dear students, I end my tutorial audio here in this particular line, that I suggest you ask your father to take you away. Listen to this tutorial audio, and if there is any doubt, kindly rectify. In my next tutorial audio, I will continue from the next paragraph. Thank you all, dear students. Listen to this audio and clarify your doubts. Thank you.